All right, welcome to another episode of Real Estate vs. Technology. I'm your host, Norman Kinsey. We have our co-host, Mr. Dan Gandy. Welcome, Dan.
Happy Friday, everyone.
I know, right? It's a Friday today, and we have the one and only.
Welcome to Real Estate vs. Technology, where you'll get the inside scoop from top producing real estate professionals all around the country, best practices, techniques, and learn about what technology they're using to drive to ensure their success in this world we call real estate.
Only Danielle Cranston from Alamo, California. Welcome to the show, Danielle.
Hey.
So on the show, it's all about you. The listeners want to learn a little bit about you, your story, more importantly, the technology and what you're using to grow your business. So give us a little bit of your story as far as area you serve, why you got in the business, and how long have you been in the business?
Okay, so I've been in business about 10 years.
Nice.
So I worked for an agent that has since retired. I started working with her. She actually sold us our home. And, started off, just to take a step back, I was a financial planner, worked for Dean Witter when it was Dean Witter, in the stock market, loved the investment business, building wealth for clients. And after a while, I started realizing as a homeowner, a home is not only a great place to live and enjoy your life, it's also an investment. And so after being a stockbroker, I decided, I want to sell homes. It's an investment. It's a great place to live. I can relate to people because, I've bought and sold many homes. So I started working with her, and then about 9 years, then I was on my own. She said, Danielle, go. You have a huge clientele. You go for it. So,
nice.
Went on my own. I, work in the area that I live, which I think is crucial because you have to be an expert in your demographic area. And so started small and, built my business. It's all on referral and just, serving my clients, being the best I can possibly, be to help them, buy or sell a home with a smooth transaction. So started off, but then after a couple of years, I'm starting to see a lot of other agents do, social media, and they have the awesome websites. And the company that I was with at that time didn't do any of that. And, I'm in, at that time, my late 40s. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so time consuming. I don't know how to do this. I would rather have coffee or a glass of wine with one of my clients. So you came through the office and you were talking, about what you did. And I was talking actually with my kids about it. And they're like, Mom, no brainer. You got to hire these people. So, I give you full credit. I get so many compliments on my social media, my website. You took my business to the next level, actually, Norman, you really did. And Dan. And, I went from, making a good living to then I started making a really good living. I doubled my business because I was reaching more people through technology. People are meeting less and less in person. They were all busy. But through social media, LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram, we're talking that way. We're seeing what we're doing.
Yep.
And also, it's awesome to market my listings that way. Not only do people go on maybe Zillow, but they're looking at Instagram and telling their friends about my house. So I think that was a crucial turning point.
Wow, that's awesome. You gave us even more. I love that.
No, I love you guys because you do what I don't know how to do that well. So I always believe, as like a doctor, you hire the best. You hire the best nurse. You hire the best office person. I think as a real estate professional, you can't be 100% at everything. So what I tell my clients is that I hire the best in the business. I hire the people that know how to do social media. They know, what the hashtags are. They know how to promote my listings. I hire, a top of the line photographer, printer. I hire the best people, and as a team, we're able to market the listings, at the luxury level.
I love that. I love this. I know Dan had some questions. One thing I just really want to highlight was, and I love because you could tell that you're someone that is, because they say 95% of the business is done by the top 10%. of real estate professionals. And I love how you're like, hey, I stay in my neighborhood. I'm not leaving Alamo. I don't need to go drive an hour to work with a customer. I can stay right here and keep it cozy and keep it comfortable and make as much, or if not more, than someone's driving all around the Bay Area trying to serve their customers. So I love that.
Well, and I that's to my point. I appreciate you said, yeah, you reiterate that, because you can't be an expert in all areas. I'm not an expert in, Pleasanton. It's a different county. There's different rules. So I do, La Marinda, Walnut Creek, Alamo, Danville, Blackhawk, Diablo, and that's where, where I do my shopping, where my kids do activities. I consider myself, I'm an expert in those areas. I know the doctors, I know the grocery stores, I know the good streets, the not so wonderful streets. And there's plenty of real estate for everybody.
So true. So true.
And then you've elaborated on some of this, but there's a couple points I want to pull out of this, and we can highlight it. One is the area expertise and how important marketing that. And you've had Danielle's local guidebook. You've highlighted, vendors and other people that you've worked with. And I think for our listeners or viewers, Danielle does a great job at really staying hyper-focused on the area, the geo-specific area, and that allows her to grow that database and that referral network.
Yep.
But from a social media standpoint and a marketing standpoint, Danielle's been really great about having amazing luxury homes. And when I see Danielle's listings and it's her photography, let's just talk about photography for a second. They're like amazing. There's twilight, there's beautiful staged homes, and everything's usually perfect. So it excites our customer success team when we're going to do a listing for Danielle. We know it's like A grade, even if it's a smaller home. It's been prepared well, marketed well, and so in all of that, let's talk about, I'm going to take a kind of a why in the road. How did you know, like when you found your photographer, did you, your stagers, like growing that dream team for luxury real estate, what did that really mean for you, and how did you really go through that process? Because there's so many options.
Absolutely. You know what? I always feel that you look to see who is doing what you want to do. So I would focus on, if there was an agent that, had some beautiful luxury listings, I would, and we're all very friendly and we all want to help each other out. I would call her and I'd say, you know what? I loved the photos that you did. They were very unique and, they above level of what the usual photography is. And she'd be, I use Circle Visions. So Circle Visions is a company I use. They're in San Francisco and Berkeley. And they do a beautiful property website. They do a walkthrough video. They do drone. They just do a whole luxury package of photos. So I always say you look to the best. So, and also if I'm visiting a home and I say, wow, I really love the staging, I'll find out who the stage, this is a very fast moving industry. You can't be comfortable and do the same thing year after year. You're not going to grow. So I feel like, you start at one point and there's always a better way of doing it. And so my job as a real estate professional is I need to be on the top of my game on what is everybody doing now? How are they taking it to the next level of marketing? And, to your point of social media, that's how I sold my last house. It was a cute house in Danville. Annie totally, blasted it through all my social network. Someone on LinkedIn saw it, called me, the agent, and said, can I see it before it comes to market? I go, absolutely. We had an offer before it hit the market.
Soon.
There you go. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That's social proof that social works, and that's really awesome. Let's one more question. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say perfect market for that. If you could do a coming soon on your social media before it hits the MLS, yeah.
Let's talk about traditional marketing for a second, because I know we've talked digital and social, direct mail. Anything that you're doing, newsletters, anything that's traditional that you're still doing in your business that's marketing related. or is that kind of phased out?
You know, I think it depends on the home. But I'm not, that's interesting. You know, I really don't do newspaper. I used to do, $1,000 full page ad in the San Ramon Valley Times. I would spend $5,000 doing a postcard mailing. And, I always, every year you have to test what you've done and what it did. So, and I just found for the last year, I never received a buyer or a seller from a postcard mailing or a newspaper ad. It's just not effective anymore.
I think we had this discussion, me and you.
Yeah.
And
it's old school.
No, I was going to say the last thing I was going to touch on really is that the overall strategy is Danielle's one of the few clients that we had at Liftoff Agent that was like, as soon as she gets like a spectacular listing, she's like, boost this. And I'm not talking just like boost it for $20. She's talking about, she's like, boost this for a significant amount of budget in these areas. Yeah. And I think that's been she's had 9,000 views on a video. So I think, when people say Facebook advertising doesn't work or boosting's a waste of time, it's not. It's just a matter of strategically how you do it. So,
absolutely. And to your point is, I think you have to spend money to make your clients money. And wow, going from 20 to like maybe $100. I mean, really, that's so insignificant. Yeah. And because you never know, it's like we put out like 1,000 fishing lines, and we never know where we're going to catch that big fish buyer.
Yep.
Totally true.
So true. No, I love that. And those are some really good case in points, and hopefully our viewers and also listeners could take this and apply it to their business. So what is the vision for the next 5 years, Danielle? Where do you see yourself?
Where do I see myself? Well, I want to be the #1 agent in the San Ramon Valley. I'm starting to build a team, taking on some other agents because I'm getting a lot. Right now, we're very buyer heavy. A lot of buyers are out there. I'm, having other buyers agents that are going to help, the referrals I'm getting. I just want to be #1. Small task.
I love that. And your focus is in an area. Yeah, you're focused in an area. We're going to help you no matter what. And it's great because, I don't know if our viewers and listeners know this, but you can get that top 50, 250 list and be like, who's on the top? What are they doing? Let's do it better, right? In that county that you're in from a local title company. But we're getting to the part of the show now. We have a couple last questions for you. I know Dan has one, and I have a couple last ones for you.
Yeah. One of the best questions I always like to ask people is the greatest amount of benefit to newer agents that are coming on is, what is like the one piece of advice that you could give an agent maybe that just got licensed today? They walked out of the testing center and they're like, I know nothing about real estate. What advice could you give them that might carry on for the rest of their career?
I think the best advice is, rather than doing, mailings, cold calls, put together a list of the people you know and talk to them. Introduce, hey, I'm starting a real estate business. I think it's also beneficial if you want to join a team because that's how you can learn a lot. That's what I started. So maybe join a team with a, hire agent, really focus on your database and then also spend money on a social media, a company like yourself that's going to take your business to the next level. We can't be everything. So, you need the experts to do the photography, the social media, the website. I would just say nurture your database, and whether it's a $200,000 listing or $4 million or $5 million listing, you treat everybody with respect, with the same energy, and good things will come.
I
love that. One thing I wanted to share with our listeners real quick before I turn it over to Norman is that Danielle does a great job of being authentic on social media. So not only is our company helping her with listing automation and good social media content, but she shares what else is going on in her life.
Yep.
And those get great engagement. People are familiar with her. They know her. And I think she does a great job of blending that strategy. So take note of that, everyone.
Yeah. No, I love that.
And you pushed me to do it because I was like, no, I don't want to share too much of my life. And you're like, no, you want to be human. And I go, okay.
Yes. And the thing that the listeners and viewers should take in consideration, that if you focus in your local market and you have children, where do your children go? They go to school. How many friends do they have? And their friends of friends. And then you meet the parents. And it's just like, hey, let's just do a block party for 4th of July. Bring all your friends and bring all their family and bring everyone. Let's just have some fun. Oh, what do you do? What do you do? Oh, I sell here in Alamo. Oh, I need to sell my home, or I want to buy a home here. Boom. Right? Like,
exactly. They get to know you, and they get to know that they can trust you. And I think that's the most, real estate professionals have such a shady reputation sometimes. So I just be authentic, be trustworthy, and work hard.
I love that. I love that. So any books that you've read over the years or podcasts that you watched, anything that helped you get to where you're at today, Danielle?
You know what? Oh gosh, I've read so many books, and there's. I'm a Tom Ferry follower. I think he does great work. He gives you new ideas, and I think the hard thing sometimes with real estate, there's like 10 million things that you could be doing. Just focus on maybe 5. You can't be cold calling and nurturing, the people and doing open houses when you can't. I think you have to focus on a couple key things.
Yep.
Do those well.
Yep.
Because then you're going to be overwhelmed.
Yeah. For sure. That's a good point. So at the point of the show now where the floor is open, so is there anything that you want to leave for our listeners and viewers, or something that you have going on that you want to share? Floor is open. Sure.
I have an amazing listing coming in Alamo, 1428 12 Oaks Court. It is the most beautiful house ever. I mean, the backyard, back sports court, Pebble Tech pool and spa, pavilion with a barbecue. It's a dream home. So, and I know there's a lot of people flocking from Silicon Valley, Mill Valley, San Francisco. They love the East Bay. We're so much more affordable than those areas. So I got that new listing coming, and I'll be and Liftoff Agent's gonna be posting it for me on my social media.
I love it. Is it coming here in the next week, 2 weeks? Can you give us a little bit of next 2 weeks? Okay, great.
Next 2 weeks.
Cool. We'll make sure this show goes out so that way it can help you with that shout out. And thank you so much, Danielle, for being on the show. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Norman and Dan. You do everything. You do it so well, and so therefore I don't have to think of it, and I can focus on my clients. So thank you. I
love that. Dan, thank you so much for being a co-host.
Thank you.
Of course, and thank you for our listeners and viewers. We hope you took something from today's episode you can apply to your business so you can have more massive success, and we'll see you on the next one.
Hope you found value. If you liked the episode, give it a thumbs up. Comment below with what you learned. And if you go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell, you'll be notified for new podcast episodes coming out. Now, I want to go ahead and show you, if you see here on your screen, you can click join our Facebook group page, and you can go ahead and be a member of our community page. We love to be able to share what type of technology you're using on this page. And also, if you want to go ahead and do some networking all across the country, you can go ahead and network on this Facebook group page. If you're a real estate professional, focus on a specific niche, whether it's a buyer specific type, seller specific type, or a specific area. We would love to hear your story and how are you growing and scaling your business using technology to focus on that demographic. And if you're a technology owner, have a technology you want to share, and you want to be featured on Real Estate vs. Technology, the podcast, all you have to go ahead and do is send us an email at reversetechtalk@gmail.com, and we'll see you on the next one.